Yo, welcome to the video. My name is Stacked and Grounded, the world's elite level pocket watcher. And today I bring you guys a video that I am really excited about because we're going to be talking about Cooper Flagg, and he was the #1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, a future superstar for the Dallas Mavericks, and apparently a young millionaire who's got a mom that's keeping him in check financially. And honestly, I think that might be the most important part of his story right now. So let's get into it. And before we even get into the NBA money, let's start with what Cooper Flagg has already done. Between his NIL deals, commercial sponsorships, and brand endorsements, reports say he's already pulled in around $28 million. That's before even touching the league. Now, to put that into perspective, he's only 18 years old. He hasn't played a single minute in the NBA regular season yet, and his estimated net worth is already sitting at about $4.8 million. That's after taxes, agents, managers, and everyone else that takes a cut. Now that is generational money before he's even signed his first professional contract. And it shows you how powerful the NIL era has become for college athletes and high school prospects who are big names. Look, growing up before the NIL deals, athletes did not make any money in college or any money in high school. No, I'm not talking about just basketball here. We are talking about all sports. I remember these big name players going into their high school and college games and they would be selling out the arenas, but they weren't getting a dime from that. You see how this is a big deal for college athletes to make money before they even touch the professional leagues. Now that being said, let's look into the real bag. Cooper Flagg was the #1 draft pick by the Dallas Mavericks. His rookie contract is 4 years and $62.7 million. That breaks down to about $13.8 million in his first year alone. You see, that's just his NBA rookie salary. So we're not even talking about the endorsements and stuff he's already stacked up before going to the league. So you got a teenager going from being a prospect with hype to someone who's almost at $100 million in lifetime earnings lined up before he's even dribbled an NBA ball. That's just crazy. Now we're going to go into his recent interview with Chime where Cooper Flagg sat down with his mom, and it's very interesting. And this interview was about 2 months ago, but it's now starting to hit headlines, which is crazy. So I'm sorry if I'm really late, if you've already seen it, but this is what it is. So with that kind of money, you'd think that his first purchase would be something wild, right? Maybe a mansion, maybe a Bugatti. But when they were asked about how much he would spend on his first car, his mom was quick to shut that down. She immediately said no Bugatti right away, and instead they both wrote down what they thought his budget should be. Cooper wrote $200,000 and his mom wrote $180,000. That's still an insane amount of money for a car, don't get me wrong, but in the world of professional athletes, that's pretty modest. And the fact that he and his mom were basically on the same page, it just shows that she's been guiding him financially in a really smart way. Now, one of the funniest comments from that interview, I'm gonna just quickly play this because it's super hilarious.
You make sure you're not a bust first.
Y'all, she really said make sure you're not a bust first. That is super funny, and the only bust I can think of from the top of my head right now in recent years is Ben Simmons. Bro is straight robbing the league right now, barely playing and getting paid millions for it. But this here is not a Ben Simmons hate video, so we're not gonna talk about him no more. Now that comment was not only hilarious, but it shows the type of grounded mindset that these young players need. We have seen it happen way too many times where a young athlete gets drafted, makes millions, and spends like crazy. And before you know it, all that money is gone. Now we can name plenty of stories of superstars who went broke not too long after their careers ended. So Cooper Flagg's mom reminding him to stay humble and prove himself first, that right there is legendary parenting. And that's also why I think this moment is bigger than just a car conversation. It is about financial discipline. When you make a lot of money, it's so easy to just spend it on so many frivolous things like cars, jewelry, entourages, and random businesses that don't go anywhere. What Cooper Flagg has right now is someone who's close to him who isn't afraid to say no. That's what's going to separate him from being just another high draft pick and being a long-term success both on the court and financially. Now, I'm going to switch gears for a second and I'm going to really talk to you guys as a Mavericks fan. After that blockbuster trade of Luka Dončić on February 2nd, 2025, it was really tough to stay optimistic about this team. Luka was the face of Dallas, and watching him leave felt like it was the end of an era. I was really crying in the club with my stick. But then came the draft and Dallas gets the #1 pick. Now, I'm not going to say that that was a rigged draft because it was really crazy that they got the #1 pick in the first place. But we bring in Cooper Flagg and suddenly there's hope again in Dallas. And watching how grounded this kid is and how well he's playing, and he's already surrounded by good influences like his mom, it feels like the Mavericks actually have a chance to rebuild something special. Do you think that Cooper Flagg will be a bust? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question, but I want y'all to tell me in the comments what y'all think. To me, I don't think he's gonna be a bust at all. It seems like Dallas may have just landed their next franchise cornerstone. So here is my final thoughts on this. You know, Cooper Flagg's talent got him to the NBA, but his mom's wisdom might be what keeps him successful in the long run. You can buy a Bugatti when you're older, but you only get one shot to build your foundation right. And as a Mavericks fan, I'm really excited. You know, we lost Luka, but with Flagg stepping in and already showing this kind of maturity, there's definitely some type of light at the end of the tunnel. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Cooper Flagg's contract, his mom's influence, and what it means for the Mavericks, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that Cooper should go all out and buy the Bugatti? Or should he keep playing it smart like his mom says? Alright y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Let's build, y'all.